Nando Gonzalez. Wait. Oh, wow. We have a new order, I think. Lynette Ancross and Janet Reyes. So you five are, I suppose, my favorite people in the world. Thank you for donating. And if you would like to support all of the things that the ACA does and also give Talk Heathen the credit for being awesome, you can support the show on Patreon by going to patreon.com/talkheathen to me. You ready for
Absolutely.
To get back
Let's see who's on the call.
into it? Oh, well, Josh dropped.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
Yeah, well, we do have another caller, and I believe you may be more familiar with him than I am. Mr. ID, or is it Mr. Intelligent Design? You're on with Jamie and Pelagia. What did you want to talk about today?
Hello, good morning. Thank you for the call. Thank you for answering my call, okay?
Yeah, thank you for calling.
And good morning. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Japan, actually, and I live here for many years, and I'm a freelance scientist. And our topic for today is I would like to share to you. Supposed to be, I will be talking to Kyle Curtis of the Non-Sequitur Show and Aaron Ra, but they are not there. So I just would like to share to you that I had already answered the Pylogeny challenge of Mr. Aaron Ross in his YouTube videos. Please tell him.
I will. I'll let him know. I don't know if we could. I mean, do you want to take this solo, or if we could summon Aaron Ra with our collective atheist magic? Should we?
Yeah, it's okay, no problem.
Let's use our atheist powers.
In the name of an empty sky, let Aaron Ra walk in from stage left.
Shit. God.
Yeah. Unplanned guest appearance. Hello. All right. Do you have headphones or earbuds?
I do not.
All right.
I sit on my knees between you. I am intimidated.
Well, so what did you have to say in terms of an argument that you wanted to make, Mr. ID? Or were you just going to explain how you'd answered Aaron Ra's apologetic challenge?
I have an
Well, first, since Aaron Ra is here, and I think also Kyle Curtis is here, I would like to give thanks to Aaron Ra for
give thanks to Aaron Ra
challenge. I would like to give thanks him for uploading the apology challenge, and it gives me a lot of time to think and share my science. So he has actually in his videos challenge, I think 14 or 13 questions. And the challenges are composed of many questions from Aaron Ra. And actually, one of the first questions that he had said is that God created kinds or biblical kinds. So in the book that I have, I can share it to him here, or I can talk to him anywhere.
I mean,
but I would like.
So hopefully his voice is coming through. But Aaron Ra, through the power of atheist magic, or I guess movie magic, which is actually unbelievably powerful, has joined us. I just wanted to make sure that was a thing that you were aware of. So you can talk to Aaron Ra.
Yeah, so he said that I had 13 questions in an apologetic challenge.
I mean, I wasn't aware of that, but I believe that...
I wasn't aware of that.
Sorry, Mr. ID, did you say that you'd answered 13 questions that formed an apologetic challenge put forth by Aaron Ra?
No, in the videos of Aaron's in his YouTube channel for the Pylogeny challenge, I think he has 14 questions. For those people who are 14 questions that composed as a challenge.
Which questions do you think there are? Maybe we could get to some of the questions.
Well, one thing that good for Aaron Ra is that he detailed the question for the Pylogeny challenge.
You know that Aaron is here, right? You know that he can hear.
It's that I'd muted the mic that Aaron was using.
So Aaron is here with you.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm seeing him. I'm seeing him in my screen.
All right, cool.
Okay, so let's get to some questions, some actual things.
Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, the first question that in the Pylogeny challenge that Aaron Ra had raised is God created kinds. This is the first question in the Pylogeny challenge that I had said.
So to be clear, is this a challenge that Arn outlined in his videos? Because he seems to be unaware of it specifically. Do you mean, there appear to be something like 14 or 13, I forget which number you settled on, things that Arn Ra appears to be pointing out as errors or pointing out as questions that were unanswered that you have then put numbers to and answered systematically? Is that along the lines of what you're saying?
Yeah, actually, the question is a systematic question by Aaron Ra, and all the questions that he had raised in his polygon challenge are answered.
Cool. What's the first answer?
What was the first
to
question?
summarize them? Okay. The reason why I think Aaron Ra is wrong.
Wait, what was the first question?
The first question in the challenge, if you are going to play at 8:51 minutes in this video, it said, God definitely created different kinds. This is the first challenge question that Aaron Ra had asked in his polygon challenge.
That's not a question, nor is it a statement I would have ever made.
But maybe you forgot your videos. But
maybe I forgot that I said something in a video that I never said.
Oh, we can play it here.
Play it. Play where I never said that.
Yeah, I can play it, Aaron.
Play it.
Wait.
Hiccup. Okay.
First of all, even if I had said that, that would have been a statement, a false statement, a statement I would have never made, but it still wouldn't have been a question.
No, for us, one part of your challenge is to.
Let me see if I can cut through this really quickly, because if I don't jump in terms of playing something from a video into a phone that goes over, my tech team will kill me, and if they team up with Eric, there's no survival for me.
Okay, so I never said that God definitely made created kinds.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, you don't believe that that's a valid scientific
If
concept.
I had said that, it wouldn't have been a question, but I never said that anyway, so it doesn't matter.
If Aaron says that, that means he's being kidnapped and we need to come and rescue him. That's what that would mean.
No, I thought he never said that. He never said that he accepted that. He just said that he needed proof that God definitely created different kinds.
So do you have the proof that God definitely created different kinds?
What was the first question? Because I didn't ask 14 questions. What is the first question that you imagine there to be?
Oh, yeah, the first question that you had, you're asking for a proof or for explanation, first is God definitely created different kinds. At 8:51, when you played it in the videos. The second question that you had...
No, so let's...
How did I phrase that question that isn't a question that you just quoted that is a statement and one that I didn't say?
You say it. You say it. Part of the challenge. Because you are trying...
I do ask a series of questions. I do ask a series of questions in the phylogeny challenge. That's not one of them.
Yeah, there are many. I understand that.
But that's not one of them.
Of course, it's one of that.
That is not one of them.
Oh, it is part of that.
That's not a question, and it's not one of them.
Oh, but it's part of that.
But
so if you neglect that, no problem to me. But it's part of the challenge. It is recorded in the videos.
Yeah, but it's not a question, and therefore you haven't answered it.
I understand that. It's not a question, but it is a part of the challenge. So
okay, I ask a series of questions which you haven't mentioned yet, which are supposed to ascertain whether God created any created kinds. So to get to that end, I did ask a series of questions. What was the first one?
The first one is God definitely created different kinds. The second
That's not a question. It's not one of the questions, one of the many questions I asked in that challenge. That is a statement, an incorrect statement, and it is not one of the many questions I actually did ask. What are one of the many questions I actually did ask?
And you also asking us for how could
here? Let me see if I can work some of my atheist/movie magic here again. So it sounds as though part of what you're saying will eventually lead to you being able to provide evidence or proof or however you're going to phrase it that God definitely created kinds. Is that something that you believe that you have evidence for?
Of course, we have evidence.
Are you prepared to present it to Aaron Ra right now on this call?
No problem.
All right, do that.
I can.
Sorry, we're running a little bit low on time, so I'm being a little bit more pushy than I otherwise would.
Yeah, I'm going with Jamie. Do that.
Yes. Or more cordially stated, hey, can you please provide the evidence that you believe that you have that God created different
He can't give me the answer to the question because he can't give me the question.
Yeah. Well,
Well, we're just going to go with created kinds
First,
for now.
Aaron, you have many questions. That's why I wrote in a science book a question. Your question so that you will never forget. You can.
The three of us are going to hell as we speak, so we really need to get this kinds thing so that you can save us before the time runs out and it's going.
I'm on a show with Pelosia. How cool is that? We're both in real flesh.
I know.
Okay, save our souls quickly with created kinds.
Yeah. What's the evidence that God created kinds? Go.
The evidence that God created kind is based on intelligence and none.
Because eggs fall through tissue
based on
paper.
intelligence.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by intelligence and non?
It's the same argument that he loses on every time he brings it up. He just never understands it because
So-
he lacks the thing that he's claiming, intelligence.
No, you don't know about intelligence, Aaron.
I did know about intelligence from every previous conversation I've had with you where you read from the same script without changing it.
No, you don't know about intelligence first.
So please, so
You don't know about the topic of intelligence.
clearly you have an
He's going to
on-again-
tell you that intelligence governs how eggs fall through tissue paper.
Is that a true statement, Mr. Intelligent Design?
Once again, please. What did you say?
Does intelligence govern how eggs fall through tissue paper?
Does intelligence governs? No.
Okay.
But an
can-
event.
So I'm going to go ahead and say this right here. I'm probably going to be very forceful. I'm definitely going to talk over you, and I'm going to see if I can grab your hand and run with you as gracefully and as quickly through the flower fields of your argument as I can, while Kyle here, who says he's had a conversation with you, figures out how he's going to budge in here.
Well, actually,
So what you're saying is you have evidence that God created kinds, right? Can you define what a kind is in biology?
yeah, based on the Bible, based on the
Right.
biblical accounts of the
Cool.
time.
So can you tell me?
Don't tell me
what
the basis. Tell me how we can tell
Yeah.
one kind from another kind
Yeah.
biologically.
Yeah, the Bible had separated the whole life forms in three different kinds.
All
Right.
life forms are divided into three
Different
different
kinds.
kinds.
Major division.
What are
Okay,
the
so
three
those are
kinds?
archaea, bacteria, and eukaryota?
No,
What
No.
are they? Yeah. What are
Overturn biology for us. What are they?
the first the Bible had subdivided the whole life forms in three different
magic.
kinds. First kind is land-based kind.
Land-based
Second
kind.
is second kind is
So is that land-based kind as in the creeping things? Is that the all sorts of birds of every kind of bird, which should be the bird kind, but it's somehow every kind of bird because the Bible it says that there's all kinds of birds of various different sorts, but doesn't tell you what a sort is either. And then tells you that there's the beast kind and the creeping thing kind. Are we up to four kinds? This is just on the land-based kind. And then we have the sea monsters.
So
yeah. Wait. The Bible had just subdivided the whole life forms in three different major kinds.
all
So
right.
can you give me
Land-based
any two species? Because what my phylogeny challenge is, and it does have several specific questions, none of which I'm guessing you have answered or are even aware of. It's supposed to
Yeah.
take you where you would take any two species that scientists consider to be closely related, and you show us how they are actually different kinds and how we discern one kind from another. So give me any two examples. I mean, the series of questions are all sorts
Well,
of...
let's stick on the first question
All right,
because
go
we don't
ahead.
want to get lost. So can you give an example of two species that are taxonomically described as being closely related, but that are different kinds, and that you can explain how to tell?
An elephant in a pine tree.
Well, if you are going to use the biblical kind in a major
Well,
classification.
so that's what we're trying to define. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best examples is that, for example, the birds. Okay, the Bible.
So
put
can we get
in
just two
air-based
species,
kind.
please? Is what Aaron was going for, rather than all
You know,
birds.
Are all birds, are all species of birds the same kind?
Yes, in the Bible.
Okay, so why does the Bible say, since we're basing this on the Bible, why does the Bible say that there are all kinds of birds? Every kind of bird. It says there's every kind of bird. You just said, based on the Bible, that all species of birds are the same kind. But the Bible says you're lying. The Bible says you're wrong. The Bible contradicts you. The Bible says that there are every kind of bird of all sorts. It doesn't tell you what a sort is. Maybe you'd like to enlighten us on what the hell a sort is. But it says there's every kind of bird. So how can we tell the different kinds of birds, Mr. Not So Intelligent Design?
Well, Aaron, what I'm telling you is that the Bible has cleared us first the first major classification of kinds in the whole life forms.
Except that it doesn't. Even by your own description, it doesn't.
You can't accept it. No problem.
No, it's not that I don't accept it. It's that it really doesn't. You said land-based things. No, it doesn't. It talks about beasts, and it talks about creeping things, and it talks about a number. These are all different land-based things.
Yeah.
And you just said that birds were. You just said that every species of bird was the same kind, but the Bible says there's many different kinds of birds, so they can't be the same kind because the Bible says you're wrong.
No.
Edgar, this is not going well.
Are you going to believe in your own fairy tales or not? If your fairy tales tell you that there are many different kinds of... Hold on now.
You live in a fairy tale, not me.
No.
Okay.
No.
So let me.
You're the one that believes in magic spells and talking animals and necromancy and sorcery and enchantments and curses and all
hold
that.
On. Let me play as fabulous a moderator as I can here. Sorry, I let that go a little bit because I couldn't stop a train of Aaron if I wanted to.
No, you can't.
But
I know from experience.
So here, let's focus in as much as we can on one specific question, which is, you've said that the Bible says that, or you've said, well, okay. So I'm being told that we are running out of time.
I can answer just for a very quick.
Oh, okay, cool.
reason.
Here, hold on, Mr. ID.
Hi, Edgar.
Hi, Kyle. Hi, how are you?
I'm much better than I think you are.
Oh, thank you. That's good. When I open my...
I just wanted to ask you, Edgar. You've told me that you are going to be coming out with the response to the Phylogeny Challenge very soon. When can we expect an update on that?
Well, actually, the reason why I'll be calling you, but you don't have this kind of, like this one. So I just shared... I have already published my science book for answer for the Phylogeny Challenge.
You have a science book?
And he's already published it.
Well, hey.
In Texas, or
No,
who is your publisher?
oh,
That's all I need to know.
the state of Texas?
Sorry, Aaron. It's over.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So, Mr. Intelligent Design, because it may not call back next week, because I think that this conversation might be able to go somewhere, because I'm an
But you've got quite an audience. Look at the people listening to you right now.
All for you, Edgar.
So, Edgar, if I may, please call back next week. I would love to continue this conversation. But again, if I go any further, then it will be Eric, the crew, and the producer that will have my head. And then I don't even know what's going to happen.
And all I want to say is, I'm so glad we had this time together.
Sorry, things are running away. Thank you for your call, and I hope you call back next week. All right. Yeah.
Or in an
All
hour.
right. I'm sorry for that. No, I want to.
We're gonna have to share.
Yeah. Okay. We'll share, but you're trying to take it from me, and that's not fair.
Now, boys.
Oh.
All right.
Don't fight. I'm
Not
still
in front of
mom.
our friends.
You would
Not in front of
oh my
Shannon.
God, you
I will
ruined
put you both in
every
your
group
room, I
picture. Oh,
I can't believe you were going to put
You
him
got
in
us in
sorts.
trouble, man.
Anyway,
All right. So
God.
that was the first of 2 weekends in a row. Oh shit! I just doomed the Brits to.